So Hanukkah, which the first night is tonight, hence we've lit one candle. The candle, this is a server candle, so it counts only to light the others, and each night we will light one more candle. So on the first night we light one, and until the 8th night we will be lighting 8. And the festival commemorates the fact that Jews were under persecution by the Greeks to forget about Judaism and become very Greek orientated, and a series of restrictive measures was imposed over a number of years, and until the Jews rebelled. A small group of Jewish men and women rebelled against this, and against all odds they managed to defeat the Greeks. The Greeks were trying to absorb the Jews into their own culture. And one of the things they did when they came to Jerusalem, where the temple was they desecrated the temple. And when the Jews were eventually able to get back into the temple, where there was a candelabra, not with 8 lights, but 6, which lit the temple day and night, there was only one cruse of oil, one jug of oil that was left to keep the candelabra going, and as a result people were sent out to go and find some more oil. But the miracle of Hanukkah is that the oil lasted for 8 days and 8 nights, as opposed to only one, which was the measure that was there. So as that is the result, we celebrate Hanukkah every year with lighting these candles. Some people use candles, some people use oil, and it's a very happy festival around the significance of freedom for Jewish practice, and the freedom of being able to have the temple and everything that was important to Jews back again, because the Greeks had tried to Hellenize them to such a degree that they'd forbidden circumcision, they'd forbidden kosher food, they'd studying and synagogue services, and so this was something that was regained, and it's very much important. We celebrate the fact that the oil was of great significance by eating food which is prepared with oil, like donuts, fried potato cakes and things like that. It's a tradition to give the children Hanukkah money. It's called Hanukkah geld. And it's also become a tradition to have presents, to give each other gifts. As you can see here, the menorah is in the synagogue, and it will be lit tonight when the service happens at 7 o'clock. But we also have these in our own home as well. So every Jewish home which is celebrating Hanukkah tonight, will be lighting or have lit the candles already. We tend to light them as it just gets dark. So that's happening here. And the synagogue, well, in non-COVID times, we would have probably had some celebration here. But as we're only allowed to be in here for as short a time as possible, we aren't having, and we can't all gather together, so we're having a Zoom event. This synagogue is having a Zoom candle lighting followed by a Hanukkah quiz. And other synagogues will be having their own celebrations, either with music, but it'll all be on Zoom. And then the community as a whole, we are having on Thursday afternoon a civic celebration. We usually have this in the council house, and we invite civic dignitaries to light the candles with us. But this year, because we can't do it, we're going to do it on Zoom. This synagogue has been on this site for nearly 60 years, but 5 years ago it moved into this building, which is a communal space that can be used for all sorts of different things. We're standing in the synagogue itself now, and before you were in the deli that's been established here, as there's no kosher food supply shops here in Birmingham. apart from a little bit in some of the supermarkets. So we have our own deli here, which serves the whole of the community across the West Midlands and beyond. People come from beyond for that. Some non-Jewish people like the food, so they come for that. Some Muslims come for that because of the fact that kosher and halal have some similarities. And some non-Jewish people really like to buy Jewish food which they can use in a sort of sacramental way. Well, I shop here because I keep a kosher home, and I can't get the things that I need anywhere else. We're very grateful to have this facility that this synagogue provides, as is all the customers who come from across Birmingham's Jewish community. Well, each synagogue, there are 4 in the West Midlands. This is an Orthodox synagogue, and 2 other Orthodox synagogues, one in the city centre and one in Solihull, and a progressive synagogue. Each synagogue has its own membership, so people affiliate with one particular synagogue for whatever reason, and so where there is cooperation between the synagogues, there is a definite feeling of belonging to one. So this synagogue has a fair number of members, about 150 members, and there are synagogue services here twice a day, and on the Sabbath and holidays also. So people come here at the moment. How you see it, it's set out for the COVID regulations, and we can accommodate 34 people in this space as per the regulations. Otherwise, it's normally about, when it's normally set up, it could be for 120. But because everything's movable, if you have a bigger function, the doors open and you can seat more people. Been very difficult. I mean, we haven't had a single festival since March that we've been able to celebrate with family and friends. The Passover, Shavuot, the high holy days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot, we've had to celebrate them on our own. And when we've been able to come to the synagogue for the service, that's been nice to see people, albeit at socially distanced. But we haven't been able to do the traditional sort of entertaining of family and friends in our own homes. So it's been very hard. And this year, as we're in this Tier 3 lockdown, whatever you call it, the Tier 3 situation, we're not with our children or grandchildren. We aren't personally. So it's sad, but on the other hand, we've experienced so many festivals now like this that we've got to get a bit used to it and just hope that the day will come when we'll be able to celebrate again. I think it's very significant that Hanukkah this year has fallen on the United Nations designated day for human rights. And so I would say that whereas we've learnt during COVID to be kinder to each other, the situation in the world is that many people's freedoms, which this festival signifies is important, are limited. And as Jews and as all the human race, it's up to us to make sure that the persecuted people of the world at the moment, the Uyghurs, the Sudanese, the people in Yemen, people in Syria, this needs to be eradicated, and we need to play our part in helping to make it no longer a fact for people, but to bring them freedom. So the festival of Hanukkah, its message is freedom and light. I would like freedom and light for all of us in this city, all of us in the UK, and all of us in the world.